Good morning, Fort McMurray, Wood Buffalo, and the rest of the world. You've tuned in to the Mac City Morning Show. I am your host, Elliot Pierre. We're going to start today's episode off the same way we start every episode off, with a moment of gratitude. I know you could be doing a million other things with your time, and the fact that you spend it with us truly does mean the world to me, so thank you. On that note, Tanner, hit him with the intro.
Hey, it's Keith Simpson here. I'm the general manager of Norel Toyota, soon to be Fort McMurray Toyota. Pretty excited for our new dealership. We're here to take care of you. Come on down and be part of our family.
And we are back. Big shout out to our title sponsor, Norel Toyota. We really do appreciate your ongoing support. As everybody at home knows, I do not introduce my guests because they can do a better job of that than myself. So can you please tell everybody at home who you are and what you're about?
I'm Crystal Culp. I'm just new to Fort McMurray. Moved here at the beginning of August. From Ontario. Before that, I spent 38 years in nursing and just recently retired in 24 from the profession, but I love it. I love everything about nursing. I'm a really big advocate for nurses. I know what they go through. I worked my way up into middle senior management because I wanted to make change. The health system certainly needs some change, and nurses on the front line, even in management, needs change. And so I advocate for that. And I do speaking, I do workshops on all things nursing, but mainly nurse retention is really, really important. And that's kind of what I'm getting the message out about. How to keep nurses, how to keep them from walking away from your organization. And, they want very simple things.
Okay, sweet. So, when I hear the word change, what is the change you're definitively looking for? So are there some high priority issues that the change needs to be kind of focused in?
Yeah, I think, for organizations such as Alberta Health Services, and organizations like that across Canada, they're all struggling right now because nurses have walked away in thousands, if not millions, across Canada. And the biggest hit was after COVID.
Okay.
A lot of it had to do with burnout. The organization's asking too much. The nurses already give enough, right? But during COVID, they were asking way too much. And there needs to be a change to the way management, supervisors look at nurses, and what the expectations are need to change. Because a lot is put on nurses.
Yeah.
A lot of the weight of you have to. Or if you don't, oh no, the whole team's going to suffer, whatever unit you work on, right? I've received those calls when I was part-time.
Right.
And, you feel really super bad about saying no, but at some point your family has to come in, and you need to spend time with your family.
Yeah.
But managers don't seem to understand that. And I know they're looking to fill a spot where somebody called in sick or they just don't have enough people. But at the same time, when you say things to get somebody to come into work that plays on their guilt for not going in and realizing, the whole team's going to suffer if I don't go in, that is really not very nice to do. And it really makes it hard for people to say no, even though they really don't even have the energy to go in. And this is why we saw, in my point of view, this is my point of view, and this is from what I've seen and what I've worked in over the 38 years that I was in nursing, and even as a manager, right? I never made those. If I made a phone call, I was happy with them saying no. I never went into the emotional blackmail, right? Because I know how it feels, because I received those calls myself. So I think that's one of the big main priorities of change that needs to happen is managers, charge nurses in nursing need to realize they're dealing with people. They're dealing with humans who have families, and they're already giving, like, plenty of themselves to do their regular work, and asking somebody to come in, 15, 16 shifts in a row is really impossible for someone to do, and to do it well. And I think in nursing, we have to think quality over quantity, right? And right now, because a lot of nurses have left, there's not enough to even sustain really that much. I would not like to be in nursing right now, to be honest with you, because it's got to be a tough environment. I left sort of the big organizations in 2009, and I went north, and I've worked in remote Indigenous communities since 2009 up until 2024.
Okay.
So about 15 years in remote communities. Most of them were fly-in, and what a difference, I tell you. It is such a big difference, such a better work-life balance, and you actually get to think as a nurse, and you have so much more autonomy there, and you work, more hand in hand with the doctors than you do in a hospital setting.
Why do you think that is?
Because nurses are the ones that are leading the front in the remote communities. Doctors come in maybe once a month for like a week, sometimes more. It all depends on how many doctors the organization has. But the nurses are there all the time. So they're there, they're responding to your emergencies, they're doing the primary care. They're it. And when they have an emergency, they lead it, right? So they get on the phone and they consult with the doctor, with a physician. But in the meantime, they're doing those first steps in that emergency to stabilize that patient. And when they have time, then they call the physician and get further orders.
Okay.
Kind of thing. So it's very, very different.
Yeah, interesting. So retired and moved to Fort McMurray.
Yes.
What's that about?
Well, I've had friends in Fort McMurray, so for the past probably year and a half, I've kind of been back and forth. When I retired, I did travel.
Okay.
And I traveled in Canada because I hadn't done much traveling in Canada. So I traveled and I did a lot of the West. So I went to BC. My sister lived out in BC. I went to visit her. Saskatchewan. Visited Regina. I loved Regina. Absolutely loved it. And then I had friends out here, so I spent a lot of time with friends and coming to visit them, and then going back to Ontario and kind of back and forth.
Okay.
Right? And then finally, I had a lease on an apartment, and it was coming due, and I thought, I'm not going to be spending this amount of money for a small, dinky apartment. And I looked at what was available here and what was for sale. And I bought a condo here that I would never get at that price, at the price that I got it for in Ontario. Not even close.
Right.
So I was like, I'm moving.
All right. And so this is fantastic. So you're thinking Fort McMurray is your retirement plan.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
On. So what are you doing to get kind of involved in the community? Like, you're passionate about nursing, obviously.
Yeah.
I can hear that, but it doesn't sound like you want to go back to work.
I don't want to go back into nursing work. I want to advocate, as I said, anybody that's interested in listening to me talk about nursing, I talk to them about it. But I also do workshops for professional development, for management, that kind of thing. I'm actually doing a workshop for Fuse Social on leadership for their EDs in sort of leadership performance management, so I customize workshops for organizations, and I volunteer. So I volunteered at the soup kitchen. I'm looking to volunteer at the food bank. There's wait lists though. I can't, I can't believe it. There's like so many people here in Fort McMurray volunteer. And I'm really shocked and surprised because, You know, you wouldn't find that in Ontario. Like I volunteered in Ontario as well.
Okay.
But I just didn't have this much trouble, you know, having to go on a wait list. I was like, what is that all about?
Yeah, we like
so
to give
that's
back
really
here.
great. Yeah. And I love the community here. I also applied to Alberta Health Services for patient, I think they call it a patient advocate.
Okay.
And I just had the interview for that. So
Nice.
I'm hoping. I sent them my references, so I'm hoping to get involved that way.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get out there in the community and, you know, meet people and that kind of thing. So, you know, Chamber of Commerce, I see, has some networking, and I'm going to a leadership workshop
Okay.
by YMM Startup
Okay.
on Saturday.
Yeah.
So, you know, just trying to get out there and meet some people.
That's
and
fantastic.
Yeah.
Good for you. Well, listen, before we get to Tanner, if you're looking to volunteer somewhere, I would strongly suggest the Multicultural Association. Reach out to them. I'm a board member for the Multicultural Association. They are always looking for databases of volunteers because we do a number of different events and things throughout the year. And so we just basically are on the list and we're like, hey, we're doing this thing. Would you be interested? So food for thought. Now, before we go on with that thought, Tanner has tapped his phone. That means he's ready with his questions for his segment called the Mac City Minute. Brought to you by Carrie and Patchouli Rose. Tanner, hit her with the Mac City Minute.
All right, question number 1. What was your go-to mid-shift snack while nursing?
Mid-shift snack, probably Chinese food.
Oh,
I did night shift for a number of years.
great answer. Question number 2. What was the funniest thing to happen to you in your time nursing?
Oh boy. I would have to say when I was in Ontario, in Fort Erie actually, I worked in their small community hospital, and I had a partner that I worked with for a couple of years. So every couple of years we shift partners. And I worked with her, and I'm going to give her a shout out, Lorraine Mars. She was the most hilarious, and we worked nights together, and she just kept things going. She had, you know, some jokes that, you know, just, you couldn't help but laugh at them. So she went downstairs to pick up a patient for us in the emergency department. She came up, I heard the elevator doors open, so I kind of, you know, walked out to the end of the hallway, and she's pushing the stretcher down the hallway, and she does that Bob Barker, come on down. And I couldn't believe it. I just cracked up.
That's awesome.
Question number 3. What was the toy you wanted the most when you were a child?
I think I would have to say, as a child, it's not really a toy, but I loved books and I loved reading.
Question number 4. What do you think is the best breakfast cereal?
Oh, I don't think any cereal really is good.
Hot take.
But I have to say my kids liked that Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah.
Yo.
And your final question. If your life was a book, what would the cover look like?
Actually, I did write a book.
Oh,
There you go.
there we go. Probably like that.
I wrote a true crime book, but it was all about nurses that killed their patients.
Oh.
And so I would have to say the cover would look like that. It was red kind of flames in the background with a hand holding a syringe in front.
Those have been your 5 questions.
Wow, that's awesome. So when did you find a passion for writing?
Well, I kind of, since I love reading, right? And I was thinking of things to do in my retirement. So this was a year before I retired.
Okay.
Just something to keep me busy. And I thought, well, why don't I, you know, do some research and look for things, you know, that I would like to do. And this book writing came up. So I took a little course in it. And then I thought, okay, they give you all the tools, right? So I did my outline, filled in my outline, and then I worked with a ghostwriter on it.
Yeah.
And kind of just polished it according to what I envisioned the book to be like and how to read it and that kind of thing. So I proofed everything. And then I went to a company and they did up my cover. And I put it on Amazon, and I think it's on Barnes & Noble, and a lot of other online bookstores. So
Cool. What's the title of the book so people can go check it out?
the title is, it's the first in a series.
Okay.
So it's called Angels of Death. Serial killer nurses.
Okay. All right. So how many books are in this series?
It's just the first one. I have the second all ready to go. I just need to design the cover
Okay.
and all of that. So that one will be coming out shortly.
So is it part 2? Is it a trilogy? Is it like going to go on forever? Maybe there's a prequel. I don't know. I haven't read the book yet.
Well, so far I have probably about 5 good ideas
Okay.
for this series, and it's all about women. So Women Serial Killers is the series.
Okay.
So my first one was about nurses. My second one is about women who poison.
All right.
Yeah.
Anybody in particular they go after? Do you have like a certain like demographic of individual that you're like, oh, you're getting out of here?
For nurses?
No, who you killing?
Oh no.
In the book.
Yeah, not me.
Yeah.
Well, in the book, the nurses, again, they're all vulnerable people, right?
Okay.
And a lot of them, it was amazing to do the research that I did, because a lot of them used insulin to kill their patients.
Oh, so this is like a factual book.
It's about true crime. So
Oh.
I did 12 nurses through time, right? So I started historically
Yeah.
and went through time to present day, and picked out the ones that were more interesting, and I combined it, and I tried to make it a little more positive too, right? What did we learn?
How many nurses out here killing their patients that you had to go through and pick the top 12?
There's quite a few. There is quite a few. Yeah, there is quite a few.
Good to know. Maybe your dad was
There is
onto
quite a
something
few.
with never visiting the hospital.
Yeah, no doubt.
There is quite a few.
Wild.
And it's just wild to me. And see, again, there's gaps, right? So when you work for an organization,
Yeah.
how well are they checking
Yeah, hiring the process.
references
Yeah,
and, education and, past employers,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Before they hire
yeah, yeah. And
people.
even
Hopefully often.
yeah. Well, when you were speaking about the change that you were looking for, like in the industry, like that's kind of part and parcel with where you are right now. Like,
Yeah.
management needs
Yeah.
to be retrained so they understand. Like job descriptions need to be revisited for the nurses. So you like, this is what we can do within this time frame. Like,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
things fall through the cracks if you
Yeah.
don't do that. And
Well, I think
Somebody could
another
kill you.
big thing is, yes, and I think another big thing too is you need to get the nurses more involved, right? So when you're writing policy,
right.
who's better than the frontline nurses that are actually doing it and following it, to get involved in writing those policies? Because I'll tell you, when I worked for organizations and I was in management and I was trying to tell, the policy department, let's get our nurses involved because the way you've written this is not going to work.
Right.
And they didn't listen. I'm not going to say to the nurse, oh, well, you should have followed policy,
Right.
because I know darn well
Oh.
it's impossible for them to follow the policy that's been written because it's written by people that aren't actually doing the work.
Right.
So I think, if you want to retain your staff, one way to do that is to actually hear nurses and get them involved, right, in what they're doing, because who knows better than them
Yeah.
what is needed, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm going to jump off on... okay, good. I thought he was telling me I was out of time. You said you have children.
Yes.
And so did they come with you, or are they like...
No, they're grown. They have
Okay.
their own families.
All right.
So they're all in Ontario. Possibly my daughter, I'm hoping, might move out here because it's getting quite expensive.
Yeah.
And she has 6 children. So
Good for her.
it's a blended family, but
Okay.
yeah.
You're so lucky. You got like a whole whack
Yeah.
of grandkids.
Yeah, and my
Okay.
son has 2 sons.
Okay.
And he's still in Ontario. And my daughter, my youngest daughter, hasn't married yet and
Okay.
no kids.
Okay.
And she's kind of just living her own life.
There we go. So what do they think about mom traveling to the top of the world, northern Alberta? You might as well be hanging out with Santa Claus.
Well, I've been more north, right? The last community I was in Nunavut.
Okay.
So I'm used to this. This is kind of what I've lived, since 2009, and I love it.
Yeah.
And they're used to me traveling. I traveled all the time for work, right? So 2009, they were teenagers, right? They were pretty much, all of them were pretty much out of the house, going to college by the time I went north.
Okay.
So they're used to me being all over the place.
So that's something I think is a new kind of trend that I never really heard about when I was younger. It's traveling nurses.
Oh, no, that's not a new trend.
Oh.
That's been around for
Okay, I never
quite a
heard about
while,
it before.
yeah.
Like, it seems pretty prevalent now, but unfortunately
Yeah.
Tanner's tapped his watch, and so we don't have time to talk about it. But before I cut you loose, everybody gets a shameless shout out or plug. So you have the mic, the camera, the lights. Have fun.
Yeah, so if you are looking to have a speaker on leadership, staff retention, at your conferences, events, or even if you want to do some staff development workshops, I can facilitate. You can reach me at crystalculp.speaker@gmail.com.
There we go. Awesome. Well, Fort McMurray with Buffalo, the rest of the world, that's been another episode of the Mac City Morning Show. From the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for tuning in. Big shout out to our title sponsor, Noral Toyota, as well as Carrie from Patchouli Rose and the beautiful people at Coldwell Banker. I hope everybody at home is having a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.